Welcome to the TALKESHI podcast, episode 96, I think. And there's so much going on. Like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know that was like the ugly cubicle that was available. Because if you can't tell right now, and if you're only listening on audio, I am in my office. I have accepted that I don't think I'll ever have like just a basic office, or like that this room will stay an office forever, but it is my current office, which I've been always talking about ever since I like started the freaking podcast, maybe like in episode 20 something around there, fall of that year of 2020, that like I have always wanted like my own space to shoot stuff, and I do have it ever since I've moved. I have, but it's just these rooms are always changing for various reasons, and I hope that you can hear this well and it's not staticky, because the last episode was so staticky. But I hope you like, I don't really want to give a tour or anything, but just like, this is like a nice couch. This is I love this throw, by the way. I feel like it really adds color to the room, which is why I chose this area. But like, the little plant, see, like this looks nice. I really like it. And my new candle warmer with that candle specifically looks so nice. Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I don't even do the intro anymore, but I do have like I have a ring light, so I'm using that. And like, yes, my door is partially open, and yes, I have the AC on, because I really wanted to wear this outfit. I really wanted to wear like a whole complete this is a crazy episode beginning, but like I wanted to wear like a whole really nice look for this episode. It does have some boots. It's supposed to have some boots, but you're just gonna have to take me sitting here looking cute. I really wish that you could see this plant more with little shadow there sitting. You know what, I'm gonna modify it. Oh my god, you can see like, okay, for the most part I'm like posing like for the thumbnail. This probably might be the thumbnail. It's hot as balls. This is kind of just like the vibe that I really wanted. Still accommodating, like I have a few toys and stuff that I really want to put there and look good, and like I've never had like I don't know, that's not the point of this episode, so let me just like not. I hope you guys are doing well. Housekeeping for this episode would mean talking about the last episode, which was a two-parter about Bad Bunny. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, on schedule, as we all know, the podcast is ending at episode 100, which I'm excited for. Hell, you know, I've been kind of busy, which I'll talk about because it actually does have to do with the theme of the episode, which is a Saturn return. If I was any other person, I would have just been like, okay, I'll just not do the podcast anymore. There's no like real good outcome. Like, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not doing anything like that. But like, it's almost like a promise to myself of like, you know, I really like podcasting. I really like sitting down and talking and getting ready to do these and whatever. So it's really just for me, I guess, and to talk about whatever I want, and just, you know. But there's really no profit off of this, not realistically. But like, it's always just fun to do, and like it shows me compromise and discipline, I guess, in a way. But I have been pretty busy. I've had an array of jobs, including social media managing, which is always the fun part of the area of which I make money. But like, why do I sound like that? I've just been busy with a lot of stuff, but everything's good otherwise. I don't know, we should just go ahead first into the topic, which is really exciting, although I am a little bit late. I'm recording this at the half of October, when I really should have recorded this like at the half of September, because today we're going to talk about Saturn returns, or at least like my Saturn return. Let's look for the definition of Saturn return, shall we? Because maybe you've heard of that concept. Maybe you've heard the Ariana song about the Saturn return. This is my definition before I read it. Saturn return, I don't know if you know, but in astrology, like, for example, if you're a Leo, it's because the sun was in the position of Leo during that month. Like, all the planets, the sun isn't a planet, but like astrologically it is. It's an entity, whatever. It was in Leo, so you're a Leo. But the moon is also in a position which changes every 3 days, which makes you maybe like a Leo sun, but maybe, let's say, a Cancer moon, which would be insane. If you know astrology. And then all the other planets are also in positions. There's a Venus, like what's your Venus? It might be in Leo as well, or Virgo, or whatever. These all change during different times. The sun changes every month. It's called an ingress, right? Like the sun position is in Leo or Virgo or whatever sign for a month, right? And that usually changes around from the 19th to the 22nd, I think. Then the moon changes every 3 days, like 3 to 4 days, etc., etc. Like I was saying, like all the planets change. So Saturn is one of those planets. Crazy, right? But like Saturn changes every 30 years, or more so 29.5 years, which is really specific. But it's a really big one. It's a really big change, because all your life your Saturn has been, I don't even know what, oh my god, I didn't do enough research for this episode. I don't even know what sign Saturn is in right now, but it changes every few years, right? So I wasn't gonna do an astrology episode, so I'm not gonna look up my chart again. I know a few of my, if you want to know, like my sun is in Aries, my moon is in Cancer, my rising is Taurus. I feel like it just makes so much sense, even with the way I look like right now. I know my Venus is in Taurus as well, which I feel like also makes sense. My Mars is in Aries. I have no idea what my Saturn is in, but I'll check and I'll get back to you if anyone asks. See, that's how I should do it, upon request, because I'm not gonna stray from recording this episode anyway. But yeah, I'm having a Saturn return. Sometimes they call it a solar return, I think, when it's like every year on your birthday and stuff. But my Saturn return was supposed to be, I guess, if we're gonna pinpoint it down to the second, I had it last month, but it's more so a process that takes like 3 years around there. Like it begins entering or change, like the Saturn begins entering or changing like since you're like 27. And I know I did like we all know that like I did this promise to myself or whatever, like almost 5 years ago, of like, I guess checking in on myself for the next 5 years. Like I have an episode almost 5 years ago talking about like, in 5 years I want this and that and whatever. And I did like a halfway episode like 2 years ago, 2 autumns ago. And I guess apparently around then is when like your Saturn return begins. And now, what is a Saturn return? I feel like I've spent the last 5 minutes just babbling, but giving you like, a perspective backstory to this. It's a point in astrology. It's a point where like it's, by what I understand, it's like a make or break moment in your life where you either get to decide. Saturn apparently is the planet of growth, or that's Jupiter, I don't know. But it's the planet that really has to do with like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, at least the Saturn return como tal is like you either break the pattern or you stay in it, really. Like if you've been living a certain way for a long time, like you've had these perspectives all your life, or like it's almost like a quarter life crisis, but obviously like a little later on. It's like a moment where you like really have to decide like, what is it that I want for the next 30 years, the next 29.5 years of my life, right? It means like, I'm just gonna read just in general here now. Like it's like full adulthood, just challenges, just like, I feel like a lot of people around, because I'm about to hit 30 in 5 months, I think. And you have to really decide like what things you want and what you don't want for your life, I guess, during this time. And I have felt in Ariana Grande's song Saturn Return, that's what she kind of discusses. She kind of discusses like, it's a moment where like Saturn hits you in the head, and that's where she like it repeats itself, like hits you in the head with it. And it's like, apparently that's what it is. Apparently a Saturn return is just that. It's like when you start really considering the things in your life, specifically career-wise, but just in general, I would say, based off of the 2-minute research I did right here on the screen. I feel like this is a great moment to just like talk about the way I've been feeling about my life, I guess. One thing I've definitely felt is like, I feel like I used to want to do this content thing, right? I wanted to be a big content creator. And first of all, it's really hard to do. Like, it's really hard to do realistically, be entertaining and be consistent enough to not only live from it, but actually be good. It because it also depends a lot on like how people respond to your content and stuff, right? But I wanted to do that for so long, and I realized, and maybe you haven't realized this if you're ever on the same path as me, but you do it maybe it's almost like an ego thing. Like you almost don't even care so much about the money, but you want people to relate to you, to talk about it, and I still want that in the sense of like, I love it when people comment and you know, that sense of like, I really did consider changing the podcast name to "Has anyone else felt like this?" or something like that, because that's really the basis of why I still even do podcasting, because it's like I love talking about things and relating to people that bring their own experiences to the comments and stuff. But I realized that like maybe I'm doing it out of a little bit of ego of like, oh, I want this, I want to do it, and I want to get like big fast, and I want to like be a big content creator, and I want everyone to like me, and I want everyone to like, I don't know. I feel like there's always a little bit of aspect of that trapped in being an artist of any kind, but especially like content creating wise. Jesus Christ, it's really prevalent. It's really like, even if you don't do it with that intention, there is always a part of you that, I mean, it's social media. It's based off of validation. It's based off of likes. It's based off of views, engagement. Like that's the only way you seem to be profitable, right? Like that's the way that brands look at you and like see that they could get like eyes on their brand through you. Right, because you're an artist and you're creating content, and like you get eyes on yourself because of your art. Not gonna enter into that conversation because I really want to focus. The point of that is like, I realized I don't want to spend my life just like trying to hit the wall with spaghetti and see what sticks. I want to like, I mean, content creating is fun, don't get me wrong. I like, again, I'm doing this without any real incentive, but the truth is that it takes a little more time. It's not always like, I don't always enjoy 100% the process. I love editing and doing all this stuff, but like I really just want to, you always have to survive, you always have to like make money and like do whatever you can to do that. But like I want to be an artist, and I want to, I've seen this a lot. I've seen a lot of people talk about like life is really the everyday, right? And like I don't want to live my life waiting for that big moment. I don't want to wait for my life to begin when I have my first viral video or anything like that. I want to wake up and like the life I live, because I only have around 60 years left of it now that I'm hitting 30. So, you know, that perspective shift really did affect, like, I would say it has to do with my Saturn return, because I really sat down and was like, what do I really want to do? So I started like writing, and even then my little brain, my little ambitious Aries brain, lots of astrology talk today, was just like, okay, when I write this and when I organize it real pretty and I like finally have a story and I have it set and like I promote it and it becomes like a big thing, like, oh my god, the biggest story in the world or whatever. And just like, I think the Saturn return has really sat me down and been like, just enjoy the writing, just enjoy the drawing, because I like, if anything, it would be, I can't believe I'm talking about this on this podcast, but like, because I've drawn ever since I was like 11, and like I've had a story in mind since I was like a really young girl, and I've always thought about making something of it. But the Saturn return again really has made me think, listen, just sit down, write the story, and enjoy the process of writing it. Don't like obviously work and do what you have to survive, but enjoy the process. Don't do everything with the idea of having something back. It's also, I don't know, it's really hard to not think about like, what would this person think about it? And like, if they don't like it, is it good? If they don't like it, is it bad? Is it a bad thing that they don't like it and I like it and I made it? So am I bad because I made a bad thing that sucked? It's hard to not get trapped in that as an artist, but I think, you know, at the same time, I don't know, that perspective shift of like making art or making content for oneself really has, I think, helped me a lot. It's like letting go of a fear of like validation in that sense, you know, and just seeing where that can take you, because I'm really blessed to right now have been making like some partnered reels and stuff like that. Like it's so funny because the moment that I thought like, okay, I'm giving up. I've made a few episodes on this. I've talked about like, okay, I don't want to be a content creator anymore. I don't want to be like a regular content creator anymore. At least I want to talk about whatever I want. I want to do whatever I want. That at the moment that happened, or that I kind of accepted it, y me resindea como que, okay, that's not gonna happen for me, I started getting brand deals and stuff, which is so weird. But I think, I don't know, it's just really, like, I stopped waiting to go viral. I stopped waiting to get better at this. I just kept doing it, and really just accepting that life is crazy, and that sometimes you'll try so hard for something and it won't bring you anything or give you anything, or like what you'll make of it will be such a nothing burger. And then sometimes opportunities just come around. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the universe works in really mysterious and weird ways. And making brand deals has kind of making brand deals and stuff has like kind of reignited that fire in me to do content, but also it's a little exhausting. And like, I'm always like, okay, I submitted this proposal, I submitted the content, I received approval to post or whatever. I can't wait till I can just lie in bed and draw. If I had to say anything about my Saturn return, it's that it's been kind of like a journey of like, what makes you truly happy? What has brought joy to you in a way that doesn't have anything to do with like capitalism or profit or validation? Just like, what do you see yourself doing that maybe doesn't have an end? Maybe you're just drawing, you don't even finish those drawings, and that's happened a lot. Maybe you just sit down and you enjoy doing it, and maybe nothing comes out of it, and maybe the moment that you feel ready to share it with the world, or like to carry out like a real onset like project, that'll come, maybe, or maybe not. Just like enjoy your creative process, and that's it. And in part, that's what I'm doing with the podcast, even though for me, like I said at the beginning, like it's more like a promise to myself thing. It's more like I'll end the podcast next year and that's it. I like doing it either way. I like talking here and I like sharing these thoughts, and I had planned for a while to do like a Saturn return episode, so I feel like nothing really came from this episode other than me looking fabulous and looking, I really like this fall look. Do y'all like this fall look? I really like it. I really like sharing my kind of almost soon to be office with you. This is where I'll be doing a lot of shoots too as well, I hope. But yeah, like I know this might have been a short one, even though this is the length of the ones that I used to make. Like I used to do smaller podcasts, so, I mean like shorter podcast episodes. I've also, I don't know if like this whole podcast thing, it's so funny because I feel like there was a moment where it was like you make it or break it. You know, there was like a podcast boom, and now it's like reduced to the ones that really are like the biggest ones in the world, and also unfortunately alt-right podcasts or whatever. But literally, like I think ever since I stopped being an H3 fan, sorry, I really just I realized that the other day. I was like, I have nothing to look forward to on YouTube. Like I literally only watch from Trixie and Katya. Like I only watch that and Hassan, very like ever so like it's not like every day like I used to wake up and Hassan used to be my CNN. Not gonna make a joke. No, I don't know. Ended up attempting a joke. Anyway, he used to be my news source from every day. I still get like I don't know. I get my news from like all around the internet. But that's all I watch. Hassan sometimes, and The Bald and the Beautiful. I was just watching the latest one with Bosco in it. So I guess maybe that's also what drives that's why I haven't made a lot of like episodes, or like I'm even motivated to continue the podcast anymore. Maybe because I don't have any good examples of like making good podcast episodes, but I'm excited to like, I have a few next ones with like really cool prompts that I'm gonna do. No AI, no ChatGPT prompts, just like prompts like they used to be, like prompts just like in improv, I guess. So just like, okay, this is the idea behind what you're doing. But like I am excited to do those episodes though, as much as I was excited to sit down and talk about, I don't know, I mean, I guess I'll end the podcast talking about the fact that yes, I am turning 30 soon. By the time I end the podcast, I'll be 30. But Jesus Christ, I don't know. Turning 30 is really just a nothing burger. And I'm trying. I will say, I wanted to talk about so many things on here, but it's not that I don't even have time. I don't want to make a long episode, but also just, Jesus Christ, it's a lot of stuff. But I am excited to turn 30, and I've shifted my perspective on a lot of things, not just aging, but like, I also feel like I could say that I've shifted my perspective on a lot of stuff, but also that's gonna be me for the next few years. Like, every year I'm gonna change my perspective on stuff. Like, I'll probably talk about this more towards the end of the podcast, but I feel like another thing that has hit me during the Saturn return, so it's relevant, it's on topic, has been like getting back into, I don't know, I feel like there was a moment where I was politically disconnected, and it's hard not to. And I don't blame anyone who's like, I'm just like, I mean, who says, you know, things like, no, I'm not like, oh, I'm apolitical, I don't care or whatever. But maybe someone that's just like, I'm tuned out. Like, it's too much. It's too much to be like always on. And yes, there's a lot of woke scolds and stuff like that. But like recently I have been back to like, okay, no, I have values. I have things that I believe in. And maybe it's a little dumb to assert myself and be like, oh, this is what I believe in politically, but I'm so glad that like I have maybe, I don't want to say distance myself from people, not really, but like I the loudest voice in my head right now is mine, and like whatever I believe in right now is what I believe in. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a leftist. I think we all know that I have certain beliefs about like women, people of color, queer people, etc. That sounds so vague, and I'm so sorry. I mean, I feel like I just like saying leftist. I'm on the left on like a lot of things, but there was a moment where I was like, oh my God, it's so tiring to be like, and that's privilege. That's privilege talking, and I have no qualms about like admitting that, because it's really easy to just be like, oh, Jesus Christ. I've always felt like so many people don't accept their flaws, and they're always like, they always want to be the victim in someone's story instead of realizing like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I was a little mean in that moment. So I think we like, these are all things that I'm coming to terms with in my 20s. So in the last of my 20s, because I'm about to turn 30 again. So for me, that's been my Saturn return experience. And you feel like, Jesus Christ, I've been feeling it for 2 years now. Like that shift, like a lot of shifts happened during my Saturn return, which isn't done yet. Like, I don't know when it finishes. I think at 31 or something, but I'm in the thick of it. And I really do feel, I think I've explained it as being like a call to like change your life and change your perspectives a lot. Like I really needed to change my perspective on like my career specifically, and what I wanted to do and what I want out of life. And that's about it. This was one of those just like chill, and oh my God, it is it's not as cool as I'd like it to be, but this is one of those episodes where it's like nice and chill, and I'm just like, I remember one episode I did like, was it 3 years ago? Jesus Christ, feels like 6 months ago, when I got in like a couch that's here in the apartment, and I'm just like cozy. I think maybe I might have invoked that energy today. I hope I did. I don't know. I know this is like really rambly, but that's kind of the point of this episode, I guess. And I guess I hope you enjoyed it. The next few episodes are gonna be similar, but they're gonna be a few throwbacks. So I'm really excited for that. And I guess I'm really excited to close the podcast chapter, and it's been really fun, and it's been really nice, and it's really sad that I feel like, I mean, I guess it's kind of dark, but I also have no energy to like really always all the time make the content for it and stuff. It's and realizing that my body isn't always like set to like sit down, record, sit down and edit, sit down and promote everything. Like it's not easy doing it all alone. But it's still been fun, and I'm doing it up until it doesn't feel fun anymore. And not to say that I haven't been having fun, but like, Jesus Christ, this has been a really weird episode. I'm so sorry. But it does remind me of like the past episodes, so I guess there is that nice nostalgic feeling of that. So either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching and for listening to me. I don't know what I'll title this episode, but it's really weird. I'm like tasting this episode. I'm like that one gif of like that guy that's like, this is really weird, but it's really tasty and really fun. And I hope you guys support the branded content, because you all know that I've been wanting to do that for years. So regardless of whether or not you do, thank you so much for your support in any way. And I'll see you in episode 97. Bye, guys.